Good evening, everyone. Welcome to your live virtual revisionary classes. I hope you have been doing well, and I'm very happy to see all of you again back to revise some important topics and study with me. And today's topic is going to be audit documentation and audit of banks. As usual, we will revise it through the medium of questions, and we will ensure that all the important points, how to think, how to manage, how to write, all those points are covered as usual. I hope you have studied this chapter because the maximum benefit of these lectures can be gained if you have read the chapter at least once, gone through the subject, and then this kind of lectures will be of utmost benefit to you. If you have not studied, you will come to know of what are the important points, and you will come to know where you are lacking, where you need to put more effort. So let's get started. I hope I am audible and visible to everyone. Can you quickly let me know if you can see me properly, if you can hear me properly? And I hope you are sitting with pen and notebook in your hands, sitting upright, not lying down, sitting upright and ready for the class. So quickly let me know that you can hear me, see me, and you're ready for the class. Let me know quickly, please. Yes, good evening, Pooja. Yes, Astha. I can see other students, Bala Murugan, Shakti. Please be as much as interactive as possible, not for me, for your own self. That will be that will be the best way for you to take benefit out of these classes. So let's get started with our first chapter that we are going to revise, that is audit documentation. A very easy, short, quick, but very important chapter. Very straightforward what you need to study in it. Can anyone tell me first what is the standard of auditing for audit documentation? So before we go further, quickly tell me what is the standard, what is the essay for audit documentation? Quickly let me know in the chat. Very good, Pooja. Essay number 230, absolutely correct. So what we are going to look most in this will be a glimpse of essay number 230, audit documentation. Okay. So documentation. For how many years we need to preserve our audit documentation? Auditor needs to preserve. Quickly tell me. 7 years. Absolutely correct. Okay. 7 years of preservation. And whose property the audit documentation? Property is the audit documentation. Very good, Balamurgan, Astha, Pooja, everyone correct. It is the property of the auditor. Now, does essay number 230 tell us that audit documentation is the property of auditor? Which essay tells us that audit documentation is the property or the ownership of audit documentation is with the auditor? Very good, Pooja. It is told by SQC 1, Standard of Quality Control. So remember these points that I have done quickly with you for MCQ purpose. Audit documentation ka standard number SA 230. Audit documentation has to be retained for at least 7 years. SQC 1 tells that audit documentation is the property of auditor. Now quickly tell me that what is another name for audit documentation? In SA 230, there is one more name that is given that is commonly used for audit documentation. Can you remember what is that name? Very good, Astha, audit working papers. Audit working papers. Very good. Now, again, one more question. These are the thing I am doing right now. This activity I call as a flashcard activity. Jahan pe I am asking you quick one-word answer questions so that you get a full glimpse of the chapter, and then we'll go into the details. So we are doing like a single sentence wise revision, and then we'll go to the main question answer. Okay. Now, quickly tell me, if I have written an audit report or I have written an analysis, And then I canceled that analysis and made a new analysis, which was the final analysis. Do I need to preserve the old analysis that become obsolete? Do I need to preserve the analysis that have become obsolete? No. What is the technical word for it? You have studied one technical word for it. What is that called? Good. All of your answer is correct. No, we need not preserve it. But what is the superseded drafts? Excellent, Astha. Very, very good. Superseded drafts need not be part of the report, need not be part of the audit documentation. Okay. Second question is, let's say that I have created a list of queries. Okay. A list of queries I have created. Voucher, this missing, X missing. I have asked few questions to the manager and they were able to give me answer. And then I realized that none of these queries were, all the queries were solved. So if everything was solved, do I need to maintain documentation even if everything was solved? Do I need to maintain documentation of my queries even if management was able to give me answer for everything? Do I need to maintain it? Very good, Pooja. Very good, Balamurugan. Yes, that should be part of the evidence. So any queries, you can call them memoranda. All those things are part of the audit documentation. All those are part of audit working papers. Now you tell me this, that for audit documentation, does my planning, what I did before I started the audit, is planning part of the audit documentation, or is planning part of the audit documentation? Quickly tell me, is planning part of the audit documentation? Here I am getting some mixed answers. Someone is saying no, few are saying yes. The correct answer is yes, audit planning. So whether it is your audit strategy, audit planning, or audit program, everything will be a part of audit documentation. Okay, everything will be a part of audit documentation. Now, after audit has finished, after audit has fully completed, how many days do I have to assemble all the files? How many days do I have to assemble all the files? Because it might be scattered. Some document will be with one team member, some will be the other. So how many days do I have to assemble the audit file? 60 days. Very good. When after the audit report has been finalized and audit has been completed, I have 60 days to assemble. Can I make any changes in audit documentation after audit has completed? Can I make any changes in audit documentation after audit has completed? Can you give me one or two example of what changes can be done, what changes are allowed? Can I change my analysis? क्या मैं अपने ratio analysis, trend analysis, can I change that after audit documentation is finished? But if I want to do some cross-referencing, I want to create a summary and add it to the audit documentation, can I do that? Can I do that? Balamurugan has raised very interesting point. Yes, especially if there is subsequent events. After I have created audit report, is it possible that I come to know of something that had I known during audit report, it would have affected my opinion? Have you studied SA 560? That after audit report was done, but before financial statements were issued, auditor may come to know of something new. And then he can approach the management to modify the financial statements, and accordingly, he may also modify the audit report. So an auditor, after the audit has been finished, has 60 days to assemble his file. And during those 60 days, there are a few things that he's allowed to change, but not much. And those details we will study in the chapter revision. Uh, is everyone with me? You got a small quick revision of the chapter. Okay, small quick revision. Now we will go on the questions. All right. Okay, pay attention now. As I told you in the last lecture also, that mainly three things can happen when there are descriptive questions. The first thing is that the question may be direct. Direct means the question is very, very straightforward. What are advantages of audit documentation? What is the purpose of audit documentation? Means the question is very specifically and clearly asking you what it wants. Second type of questions can be indirect. Indirect means answer is direct only. Answer is from the book only. But the question is twisting it a little to test whether you have application of mind or you are just mugging up. Whether you can derive from the question that what answer needs to be written. So sometimes you may know the answer, but you are not able to apply your mind to understand that इस question में ये answer लिखना है. So those are indirect. It does not mean that you don't know that answer. It just means you are not able to connect the question with the answer. And the third type is a little bit drafting. In this kind of question, it is tested that whether from the question and from your understanding of the chapter, are you able to connect and create an analysis of your own, which means are you able to draft? It means this XYZ situation is given, how will you approach it? So you might have to use one concept from SA 230, you might have to use one concept from SQC, you might have to use one concept from SA 300, bring them together to give you an answer. So these are a little difficult level of answer. They are never the majority. आपका पूरा paper in question से नहीं भरा होगा. Your majority is this and this. This is to test your drafting, analyzing skills and how you are able to connect one concept to the other concept. Because in audit, it's actually a continuation. Chapter 2 is a continuation of chapter number 1. Chapter 3 is a continuation of chapter number 2 and 1. So all वो एक ट्रेन की तरह है, एक दूसरे से जुड़ जुड़ के लिंक बनती जाती है. Okay. Asta is asking, ma'am, why audit planning is part of audit documentation. So Asta, I'll give you a small example. Let's say, Asta, you are appointed auditor of some college. Okay, there's college. How many resources you will need in this audit? Or what is the objective of this audit? What kind of communications I need to do in this audit? How many days will it take for me to complete this audit? Is that not audit documentation? Think of it like that. Suppose later on you have given audit report and a charge is brought and some fraud was found in that college. Okay. And now you are being questioned that whether you did your job properly or not. By showing the planning documents, will you be able to prove to them that you did your job properly? By showing them, see how much planning I did, how much of discussions we had, how properly we did these things. So what is audit documentation's purpose? Audit documentation helps you with two things. It helps you to provide evidence of the opinion you have given. So whatever opinion I have given, it gives a base for it. Second, it helps to prove that I planned and performed the audit as per the required standards. That is the purpose of audit documentation. So to prove that you have done your job well and you have followed all the standards, the planning needs to be part of the documentation. Is that clear, Astha? Are you satisfied with the answer? Okay. All right. So these are the three main subjective type of questions that is usually asked in exam. In this revision class, we will have all two, three type of questions so that you can see that before I tell you the answer, are you able to think and realize which answer we have to write in this? Okay, let's start with the first one. During an audit of MNT Limited, CA Shubh, the auditor, discovers an issue with stock valuation. To ensure the accuracy and reliability of his observation, Shubh needs to document the audit procedures, evidence collected, his observations thoroughly. In this situation, how does audit documentation help Shubh support his findings in audit in accordance with standards of auditing? Now, if you will think, does it have any keyword? So let's go to the main point. Okay. This is the summary of your chapter. You can find this on ICAI website, Board of Studies website, Saransh it's called. Okay. So it's like a quick revision place. Everything is given for quick reference. So if you will see, the main answers are objective of auditor. Then second one, it is nature of audit documentation. Nature of audit documentation and purpose of audit documentation. And this one is form content of documentation. So these are the main answers. Now you see the question. I will not tell you the answer. What is this question saying? In this situation, how does the audit documentation help CA Shubh support his findings in audit in accordance with standards? First tell me, in तीन category में से, which category question is this? Category 1, category 2 or category 3? You think you have to write your own answer? You think it's a direct question or you think it's an indirect question? Which category does this question fall into? Kabhi bhi exam mein, immediately after reading question, you should be able to decide this is category 1 question, category 2 question, category 3 question. So I have received one answer. What does other people think? If you don't respond, there is no use. मैं अकेले बोलती रहूंगी revision class में तो कोई मतलब नहीं है. If only I keep speaking. Balamurugan is saying it's a direct question. Astha is saying it's indirect question. So one is saying type 2 hai, one is saying type 1 hai. One is saying indirect question. Indirect question. Siddh is saying indirect. Shakti is saying indirect question. Okay. Type 2 question Mujahid is saying. Pooja is also saying type 2 question hai ma'am. Okay. So type 2 question agar hai, I am giving you an open book test. Question आपको दिखा दिया है मैंने. Question I have already shown you. How does audit documentation help CA Shubh support his findings in audit in accordance with standards? I have shown you the question. These are the possible answers. Book is in front of you. आपके हाथ में आपकी book होगी ही. Can you tell me which points do we have to write in this question? Give me a hint. Open book test, imagine. Now choose. Let's see you can understand the requirement of the question or not. Tell me which answer will go in this. I have received one answer, but I'll not tell what it is. Let's other also reply. Astha has replied already. Who else would like to try? Which answer would come in this? आपके सामने book है. I will keep the question open. What happened? Yeah. Who can tell which answer we have to write in this? Astha has given her answer. Anyone else? Give it a try. I'll wait for 10 more seconds. Even if you are wrong in this, it's okay. You will not be wrong in exam. अभी wrong होंगे तो कोई problem नहीं है. But try जरूर करना है. Okay. Okay, I've received one answer from Bala Murugan also. Who else? Two answers I have received. Pooja, Mujahid, Sid, Shakti. Give it a try. Which answer should come in this question? Shakti is also given an answer. Very good, Shakti. What else? Who else will give? Pooja has also given an answer. Can I tell you that all four of you have given different answers? All four of you have given different answers. And this is what I mean कि अगर समझे बिना हम काम करेंगे तो ओपन बुक टेस्ट भी होगी ना, तो भी हम आंसर सही से नहीं लिख पाएंगे. आपके सामने अभी क्वेश्चन है, आपके सामने आपकी बुक है, तभी भी आंसर गलत आ रहे हैं. And that is where the concept, critical thinking and application of mind is tested in exams. Mujahid has also given answer. Okay, enough people have given answer. So there is only one person who was able to get the correct answer, and it is Astha. The correct answer is purpose. Can you see? Which means ये सब distraction था. All this was distraction. How does audit documentation help? Audit document, this was the keyword. Sometimes you will not get exact topic headline that you see in your book, but you have to make your own interpretation. Of course, you can write the definition of SA 220. You can, that is all the introduction. But the main answer, how does audit documentation help to support his findings? Support his findings is objectives, which means it's definitely not asking for objectives. ये ऑलरेडी बोल रहा है कि ऑडिट डॉक्यूमेंटेशन सपोर्ट करता है फाइंडिंग में, बट कैसे सपोर्ट करता है? हाउ डज इट हेल्प? And that is where it comes in the purpose. So the correct answer was purpose. Now this is why you need to do conceptual understanding and Q&A practice. Okay. So even if you have studied the chapter multiple times, but you are not going through past questions and everything, it will still create a gap in your performance in exam. Okay. So let's see the answer. See, answer is quite easy only. Answer is directly from the book, this one. This answer you had to write. Okay. So answer is not difficult. During the audit of M&T Limited, CA Shubh identifies an issue with stock valuation. To ensure the accuracy and reliability of his observations, it is crucial for him to document the audit procedures performed evidence. This is fully from the question. Audit documentation plays a key role. Of course, a few of you told that we will write essay 230, ma'am. We will write definition of audit documentation. All this is completely okay. That is not wrong. If you write it, it is completely okay. But if it does not come with this, then it is useless. आप ये लिखो और फिर साथ में ये लिखो तो अच्छी बात है. If you write this plus you write this, that's good. Audit documentation plays a vital role in supporting CA Shubh's findings as per essays. Its key purposes include assisting the engagement team to plan and perform the audit, assisting the members of engagement team to direct and supervise the audit work and to discharge their review responsibilities, enabling the engagement team to be accountable, retaining a record of matters for continuing significance to future audits, enabling the conduct of quality control reviews and inspection as per SQC1, enabling the external inspections as per legal, regulatory and other requirements. That's it. Now I'll give you a small trick to learn this, okay? I'll just give you a small trick कि इसको learn कैसे करना है. Please, you can note this down, okay? So I usually do this thing. Those who have studied earlier also, they would know that I use something called as a grouping method. Grouping method means I find similar points. अब ये तीनों पॉइंट एंगेजमेंट टीम के पॉइंट है ना, तो इनको मैं एक बना दूंगी. So how do I remember it? Grouping method. So how do you remember it? Please pay attention. I will divide it into two main things. First is engagement team. And second is records. Okay. So in engagement team, 3 points will come. It helps you in planning and performing the audit. Planning and performing हो रहा है तो direct, supervise and discharge your functions. And third, it helps to create accountability. Records may, how will you remember? Two types of records. It helps in future audits. Second, it helps in inspection. How does it help in inspection? Again, 2 points. Internal inspection as per SQC and external inspections. So if you'll see, for quality control reviews and inspections as per SQC, for external inspections as per legal regulatory requirements. It helps to create record of matters for future audits. And 3 points were engagement team ke 3 points: plan and perform, direct and supervise and discharge their review responsibility, and accountability. So if you'll remember it like that, you can remember what is the purpose. What is the purpose of audit documentation? It helps in 2 things: engagement team and maintaining records. Engagement team को कैसे help करता है? Planning and performing, direct, supervise and discharge. You can write, remember review also. Accountability. In records, it helps in future audits. Inspection, internal inspection as per SQC1, and external inspection with respect to any legal or regulatory requirements. Everyone clear with the answer? सबको समझ में आया? Okay. So when you are doing any kind of Q&A practice, okay, what is the correct way to do Q&A practice? Will you read it like a chapter? Question dekha, answer dekha, question dekha, answer dekha. Will you do it like that? No. If you do any Q&A practice on your own at your home, just read the question. First time, you can just keep the book open and see that ये question किस answer का है, वो connect करो. Then never ever directly go to the answer. All of you enjoy practicals na, accounts, FM, है ना? Practical subjects also you enjoy, right? Now in practical subjects, suppose you have to make accounts or you have to do tax or you have to do FM. Will you write and practice the answers or will you read the ledgers? Accounts बनाने हैं अगर तो आप ledger read करोगे, partnership का आप लिखोगे, आप you will see the question and then you will write it. You will not read the question and read the answer. Then this mistake is made in theory papers that when you are doing Q&A practice, you read Q&A. If you are going to read Q&A, how is it going to be retained in your brain? It will not get retained. थोड़ी तकलीफ देनी पड़ेगी आपको अपने दिमाग को जब आप प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं. थोड़ा दिमाग में प्रेशर लगाना पड़ेगा. कि वो कैसे प्रेशर? कि मैं क्वेश्चन पढ़ के डायरेक्टली आंसर नहीं देखूंगी. I will see the question, I will try to think what the answer is, I will mention the keywords, then I will see the answer. आप ये करोगे तो उसको बोलते हैं कि आपने प्रैक्टिस किया. अगर आप Q&A के क्वेश्चन बैंक को बैठकर सिर्फ रीड करोगे तो उसको प्रैक्टिस नहीं बोलते हैं. The way you have to do practice in practical papers, you have to do similar style and line of practice for auditing paper. Otherwise, it's not practice. It is reading a newspaper. And reading a newspaper does not make you qualified to write a newspaper. Reading a newspaper means you can only read. Writing only means you can write. Reading does not equal to writing. Read करके लिखना नहीं सीखा जाता है. लिखकर लिखना सीखा जाता है. Okay? So question number 1 is done. We'll move on to the next one. Question number 2 पे आते हैं everyone. Let's see what's there. CA Tanuj, the auditor of Kiran Limited, completed the audit work. Okay, it's completed. And issued the auditor's report on 18th August 2024 for the financial year ended 31st March 2024. During the final assembly of the audit file, he discarded, okay, some supporting schedules as same were outdated and corrected some cross-referencing errors of working papers. No new audit conclusions were drawn, and the final audit file was assembled on 10th October 2024. On the basis of standards of auditing regarding audit documentation, comment on the action taken by CA Tanuj. First, tell me, the immediate thing is we should see if 60 days has crossed or not. Has 60 days crossed? So you should remember 60 days wala. 18th August was audit report and 10th October he created the final audit file. So was 60 days crossed? No. So assembly done on time. Okay. Assembly done on time. Then it is saying during the final assembly, he discarded some schedules, corrected some cross references. No new audit conclusions were drawn. Is this correct or wrong? First tell me, correct or okay? सही है कि गलत है? He discarded some old outdated schedules, corrected some cross referencing. It is correct. Very good. Now, what type of question is this? Type 1, type 2, type 3. Type 2 only. Type 2 only. Now, if you will see your book or I'll show you this. Okay. Which answer will come? Can you tell me from your book? Which answer you will write? Can anyone tell? Keep the book open. Tell me which answer will go with this answer. And then we'll see the answer. Go through your pages. It's not more than 10 pages. Tell me. Which points will come? Very good, Astha. Astha has given the answer. Her answer is correct. Does anyone wants to try? Is it a direct answer from the book, Astha? Is it a direct answer from the book? Yes. Okay. So, how do we start this kind of question? First, you can mention as usual, you can mention essay number 230. Okay. Then you can mention what, you also have to mention SQC1. Then you have to mention the points and then you have to give conclusion. Why do you have to give conclusion in this one? Why do we have to give conclusion? एक sentence क्यों देना पड़ेगा? Why do we have to give a conclusion? Because they are asking to comment on the action by CA Tanuj. So we have to give a conclusion कि CA Tanuj के action सही थे कि गलत थे. Whether CA Tanuj's action, if he is doing correctly or not. So if you don't write a conclusion, will your answer be complete? If you just write copy paste answer but don't give a conclusion line, will your answer be complete? No. Then you will lose 1 marks. Correct? So when the question is telling you that comment on the action taken by CA Anuj, tell give a conclusion whether he is correct or not. Okay, now see the answer. As per SA 230 audit documentation, the auditor shall assemble the audit documentation in an audit file and complete the administrative process of assembly on a timely basis after the date of audit report. An appropriate time limit within which to assemble the file is ordinarily not more than 60 days after the date of audit report. The completion of assembly of final audit file after the date of audit report is just an administrative process, and it does not involve performance of any new audit procedures or any new conclusions. Changes may, however, be made to audit documentation if they are administrative in nature. So what is the keyword here? What is the keyword? Administrative in nature things can happen. After the assembly of final audit file, the auditor shall not delete or discard the documentation of any nature. What does it say? It says it shall not discard after the assembly. So Mujahid, you are asking that they have violated by doing discarding. We are allowed to do discarding before the final assembly of audit file. After your audit file is fully assembled, after that you cannot delete or discard anything of any nature. Is that clear? Please remember this for MCQ. In the given situation, the auditor of CA Tanuj has issued audit report on 18th August for final year ended on 31st March 2024. However, he discarded some supporting schedules, corrected references, etc. by 10th October, which is under the prescribed time limit of 60 days. Further, no new audit conclusions were drawn. CA Tanuj can make said changes to the audit documentation during the final assembly process. Now tell me, do you still think, so I didn't correct you that time, do you still think this is just an indirect points question or it is actually a type 3 question? Did you just have to write down some copy paste points? Or did you have to connect and organize and properly write down the answer? So did you have to use little bit of your writing skills? Basically, think if you have to use your writing skills, that means it's type 3. Indirect means you have to use your connecting skills, connecting plus memorization. And type 1 means you have to just remember your memorization. So, did it use only your connecting skills or little bit of your writing skills also? Writing skills also. That is why it is a good, simple example, not very complicated example of type 3. Okay? Direct में क्या होता है? Memorization. Indirect में क्या होता है? थोड़ा connecting, थोड़ा application of mind and memorization. And टाइप 3 में मेमोराइजेशन भी है, कनेक्टिंग भी है एंड राइटिंग स्किल्स भी है. ओके, ऑल 3 आर देयर. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 इज डन. कैन आई मूव अहेड? ओके, गुड. नेक्स्ट, क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. Messrs. KS, JS and Associates are statutory auditors of Moon Limited for the financial year 2023-24. During an audit briefing, CA Sanket, the engagement partner, explained that the auditor must assemble the audit documentation in an audit file and complete the administrative process of finalizing the audit file on a timely basis after the date of audit report. He also highlighted the requirement of SQC1 regarding establishment of policies and procedures for the retention of audit engagement documentation. Explain the requirements relating to timely assembly and retention of audit files as per this. Do you have to do any application and connection work here in this question? कुछ application connection जैसा कुछ करना है? Writing skill है कुछ इसमें? बहुत ज्यादा? No. So which type of question this becomes? Type 1. Here we are testing that whether you remember what you studied about SA 230. Okay. So now you know that this is very, very straightforward question. So if it is a straightforward question, you don't have to give any conclusion. Do I have to give any conclusion here? We don't have to give any conclusion. Okay. Now, in this, we might have to write points. What points do we have to write? We cannot just write this point and this point. We have to explain it more. Okay. So how do we write this answer? If you will see, what does it mention? Explain fully the requirements. All requirements related to assembly and retention. तो assembly के time के सारे points लिखने हैं, retention के भी सारे points लिखने हैं, and आपको SA 230 भी mention करना है because engagement standard and quality control means SQC1 भी mention करना है. तो आपको ये दोनों चीजें मेंशन करनी है एंड दोनों के पॉइंट्स लिखने हैं. यू हैव टू मेंशन बोथ दी स्टैंडर्ड्स एंड यू हैव टू मेंशन बोथ द पॉइंट्स अबाउट असेंबली एंड रिटेंशन. So here we have clear idea of how much we have to write. So this is a little longer answer. Auditor shall assemble the audit documentation in an audit file and complete the administrative process. This is all repeat. SQC1 quality control for firms that performs audit and review of historical financial information and other assurance and related services. Do you remember these? Do you remember the name of SQC1? Do you remember? याद रहता है आपको? Do you want me to help you remember it? Okay. ऐसे 220 नहीं कुलदीप. ऐसे 220 is applicable on, let's say there's a very big difference. Okay, don't get confused between SQC1 and SA 220. I'll tell you the difference, Kuldeep. Okay, pay attention. Can anyone tell what is the difference? Let's see how much you remember. What is the difference between SQC1 and 220? दोनों quality control के बारे में है, but दोनों में difference क्या है? What is the difference between an SQC1 and SA 220? If you can answer this, I'll be extremely impressed if you can answer this question. If you can answer this question, I'll be very, very impressed. Asta has given one. Pooja has also given one answer. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, I'll tell you quickly. Let's say there is a CA firm, ABC and Associates. There's a CA firm, ABC and Associates. And they have an audit called as A Private Limited. A Private Limited में काम quality से हो. Proper quality is maintained in the audit of A Private Limited. Particular engagement by engagement partner. That is SA 220. But pura ka pura, the whole ABC and Associates should maintain quality control. It means कोई भी audit आए तो ये minimum quality control maintain हो रहा है. That is called as SQC. So it is quality control for firms. Yes or no? इतना याद रहेगा. It is quality control for firms. ये firms क्या क्या काम कर सकती है? What is the work that these firms can perform? Do you remember engagement standards SA, SAE, SRE, SRS? Do you remember? 4 engagement standards are there. Standards of auditing, standards of assurance engagement, standards on review engagement, standard on related services. Chapter number 1 में था. Okay. So SQC, what does SQC say? SQC say that quality control for firms, and these firms are doing two things. They are doing audit, they are doing reviews, they are doing other assurance, and they are doing related services. तो अगर ये याद है तो ये भी याद हो जाएगा. Understood? So engagement standards, an auditor, I can do 4 types of engagements: auditing, review, other assurance, other related services. Yes or no? तो क्वालिटी कंट्रोल किस पे होगा? फर्म्स पे, जो ऑडिट करती है, रिव्यू करती है, अदर अश्योरेंसेस देती है, रिलेटेड सर्विसेज देती है. नाउ इफ यू सी, व्हाट डज द नेम से? Quality control for firms that perform audit, review of historical information, other assurance, other related services. Now can you remember? अब याद हो जाएगा? You should not make any mistake in the name of SQC1. Okay, it can be used at many places, so don't make mistake. So it is quality control for firms that perform audits and review of historical financial information and other assurance and related services. Okay. It requires firms to establish policies and procedures for timely completion and assembly of audit files. An appropriate time limit within which to complete the assembly is ordinarily not more than 60 days. Again, repetition from the previous answer. The completion of audit file, the completion of the assembly of audit file after the date of audit report is just an administrative process. It does not involve doing any new audit procedures or any new conclusions. So ये तो हमारा पूरा ऊपर यही पॉइंट था. Now ये वाले points ऊपर क्यों नहीं आए? Previous answer में why did it not come? Because in question itself it was given that he discarded some things, he corrected some cross references, he did not do any new audit conclusion. So here we just had to say whether what he's doing is right or not. But the next question is asking what all can you do? Write the whole thing. And that is why it's a direct question. So changes may however be made to the audit documentation during the final assembly process if they are administrative in nature. Examples of such changes are deleting or discarding superseded documentation, sorting, collating, cross-referencing any working paper, signing on completion checklist relating to final file assembly process, and documenting audit evidence that the auditor has already obtained, discussed and agreed with the relevant members of team before the date of audit report. तो कुछ पुराने documents हैं, उसको आप खाली assemble करके जो साथ रख रहे हो. After the assembly of the final audit file has been completed, the auditor shall not delete or discard any documentation before its retention period. What is the retention period? 7 years. SQC requires firm to establish policies and procedures for retention of audit documentation. The retention is ordinarily shorter than 7 years or later if the date of a group auditor's report. Completed? Answer question 3 is, I hope, perfectly clear. Okay, we'll go on to the next one. Let's come to question number 4 now. Question number 4. Pay attention. CAN, the statutory auditor of QST Limited, appointed for a term of 5 years, okay, has completed audit for the first financial year ending 31st March 2024. In compliance with the requirements of professional standards, an audit file has been assembled. After about a period of 6 months from the date of issue of audit report, he gets a call from CFO of the company to share the complete audit file so that financial reporting of company can be improved upon in coming periods. Is it mandatory for statutory auditors to share audit files? First tell me, is it mandatory? Is it mandatory to share audit files? No. Which standard will you quote here? Which standard will you quote here? Which standard? Quickly tell me. कौन सा standard quote करोगे? SQC1. SA 230 means wrong. Okay, SQC1 properly. So it is not allowed. What are the requirements for making audit documentation available to clients? What does SQC1 say? It says that at my discretion, you have to use this word discretion. At the discretion of auditor, some portions, some extracts can be made available to the clients. Okay? At my discretion, at my choice, I can make some records, some portions available to the client if I think it will not undermine my audit work later on. Because if they come to know that how I planned, how I choose my samples, if all of these things, they come to know the pattern, they will prepare well next time and they will hide their frauds in places they know I don't check. So you have to share things only if you feel it will improve the audit and not reduce the audit quality later on. Okay. So yeah, let's see the answer. SQC1, quality control for firms that performs audit. See again full. ये तो याद रखना ही है. You have to remember this. Provides that unless otherwise specified by law or regulation, unless otherwise specified by law. So if there is some court order that I have to show it, then we can't do anything. Then we have to show. Audit documentation is property of the auditor. Therefore, it is not mandatory for CAN to share the audit file. He may at his discretion make portions of or extracts from audit documentation available to clients provided such disclosure does not undermine the validity of the work performed or in case of assurance, the independence of the auditor of his person. So if you feel it is not going to undermine your work or negatively impact it, you can give some portions if you want. If you don't want to, you can say no. Of course, unless and until it is required by legal requirements. Okay. It's a very small one. Let's go on to the next. CA Shilpi, the engagement partner of MN Associates, is assigned the audit of following two companies. Z Limited, a small family-run business with straightforward operations, minimal internal controls, and low transaction value. TED Limited, a large multinational corporation with complex operations, multiple subsidiaries, high transaction volumes. During the planning stage, CA Shilpi highlights that the form, content, and extent of audit documentation must be customized for each client based on specific factors. Discuss the factors on which form, content, and extent of audit documentation depends. Which kind of question it is? Which kind of question it is? See your book and tell me. Direct. You have to do no analysis in this. This is all extra information. Discuss the factors which affect the form, content, and extent. It is one of the most old is gold question. Very old classic question this is. The factors on which form, content, and extent of the documentation depends. So even if you have forgotten, think कि एक audit की file है. Okay. This is the shelf. Please excuse my poor drawing skills. This is one file. It is this thick. And another file is this thin. Think of it as audit documentation file. Okay. So whether the file will be this thin or whether the file will be this thick, what do you think affects it? क्या size of company से effect होगी? File मोटी है कि पतली है? Will the size of the entity affect it? आप just मुझे yes or no बोलते जाओ, okay? You just keep telling me yes or no. Will size and complexity of the entity affect it? Can it be one of the factor? It's not necessarily the only factor. Can it be one of the factor? Yes, ma'am. If I identify risk of material misstatements as many risk of material misstatements are identified. तो बताओ file पतली होगी कि मोटी? File would be thicker or smaller? Okay, thicker. If I have found and if I've performed audit procedures, very high quantity of audit procedures, very large quantity of audit procedures have been performed, file would be thicker or thinner? Thicker, so documentation will be more. Okay. And let's say if I am the audit evidence that I'm finding are all only oral evidence. So do you think my evidence quantity will increase or decrease? Only oral I'm finding. I'm not finding written, independent, original documents. Only oral evidences I'm finding. So मुझे ज्यादा ऑडिट डॉक्यूमेंटेशन बनाना पड़ेगा. ऑडिट एविडेंस की क्वालिटी अच्छी है कि बुरी है, पहले ये बताओ. Is audit documentation quality good or bad? Is audit documentation quality good or bad? First, tell me that question. If I am getting only oral evidences, is the audit documentation quality good or bad? Quickly tell me. Bad. If audit documentation quality is bad, do I need to get more audit evidences to get sufficient appropriate audit evidence? If audit evidence quality is bad, do I need to obtain more quantity of audit evidences to get sufficient appropriate audit evidence? Yes. So if the audit quality evidence is poor, then will the audit documentation increase or decrease? If the significance of audit evidence is poor, it will increase. So does audit evidence quality affect my size of file? मेरी size of file affect होती है audit evidence की quality से? Yes. Okay. If during the year, एक ही साल में कंपनी में डेथ ऑफ पार्टनर हो गई, retirement of partner has also happened, appointment of new partner has also happened, acquisition of a new firm has also happened, demerger has also happened, fire has also happened. So if a lot of exceptional things have happened, will the size of my documentation increase or decrease? If a lot of exceptional non-recurring events have happened more. So if number of exceptions means number of non-recurring special things are high, then audit documentation will also be higher. If I can document the conclusion very easily, will it reduce my documentation? Yes. If it is very difficult to reach a conclusion, whether it is true and fair view, not true and fair view, I'm not able to determine the conclusion easily. Will it affect my audit documentation form, content, and size? Yes. So ऐसे याद रखना ये question. Okay. Now look at the answer. The form, content, and extent of documentation depends on many factors, like size and complexity of the entity, nature of audit procedures to be performed, identified risk of material misstatement, audit evidence obtained, exceptions identified, documenting of conclusion or conclusion not readily determinable, audit methodology and tools used. Okay. So you can remember it like this. It depends on the nature of entity, size of entity, then what kind of risks I find, what kind of audit procedures I do, what kinds of audit tools I used. By this, what kind of evidence I find. From this evidence, whether the conclusions are readily determinable, plus how many exceptions were found. So remember in this flow, nature, size of the entity, risks identified, audit procedures performed, tools used, evidence obtained, conclusion readily determinable or not, and exceptions, exceptional transactions. Clear, everyone? Okay. So this answer is also done. We'll move on to the next one. Next question. CA PQ has prepared audit documentation of an entity describing the nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures performed during the course of audit. In documenting the nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures performed, what matters will be recorded? He is also of the view that audit documentation alone as described above meets the requirements of standards of auditing. Comment upon the validity of the views. First, see your book. Can you find the answer for this? Quickly book देखो सब. In documenting nature, time, and extent of audit procedures performed, which matters are to be recorded? Can you find it in the book? Quickly tell me. Can you find it in your book? Audit documents preparation wala pura topic. Can you see that? So this is one of the questions that usually is prepared quite loosely by the students. Usually they are quite good with the objectives, the purpose answer, form, content and extent wala answer also they are good. But this answer, usually students don't prepare well. And that is why this question I've kept here, it is so important because most of the students skip this part or they're not able to write it correctly. They think that it is a type 3 question. They think that they have to write it on their own, but it is actually directly from the book. Okay, so this is actually a type 2, thoda mind application, thoda direct. So first let's see what matters in documenting the nature, timing and extent of audit procedures performed. What matters to be recorded? Let's say that I was checking inventory. Okay, I am preparing audit documentation for my work I did on inventory. For inventory, I used inspection. I visited the godowns. I also did observation. I saw other people counting the inventory. I also talked to a few people to get information about the inventory, the production process, the wastages, the normal wastage, abnormal wastage, the wages paid, per day production. So I did a lot of inquiry also about the inventory. Other than that, I also did a few recalculations. I checked all the production things. I checked the wastage percentages. So I did a few recalculation, valuation. Also, I did as per AS2. So I performed all these audit procedures. Now the question is that PICU is preparing the documentation to describe the nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures performed. So when you're documenting, so if I want to document, so let's say, Kuldeep, you are making a document regarding inventory verification that was done by us. Okay. What all things would you want to be there in the documentation? क्या-क्या आप documentation करोगे in terms of nature, timing and extent of audit procedures? तो कुलदीप क्या बोलेगा? मुझे ये बताइए ये काम किसने किया? Who performed? Who performed the work? Date, started and completed. Who reviewed it? When was it reviewed? How much it was reviewed? What give me information about inventory. I will note down that, which means characteristics of inventory. उसके बारे में थोड़ी information दीजिए. That in entity, what kind of inventory do they have? What are the common risk areas are in this kind of inventory? So think of it very logically. And now if you see the answer, you will be able to easily remember. In documenting the nature, timing, and extent of audit procedure, the auditor shall record the characteristics of the items that have been tested, who performed the audit work, date when such work was completed, who reviewed the audit work performed, and date and extent of such review. This is the first part. In documenting nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures performed, what matters to be recorded. Okay. The auditor shall prepare documentation that is sufficient to enable an experienced auditor having no previous connection with audit to understand this. अब ये answer क्यों आया? Answer तो we have seen, but why is this answer written? Because second part of the question. He is also of the view that such documentation alone, as described, meets the requirements. Is this enough? No. If you'll see that this is not enough, you also have to record this and this. So, is it valid? Is the documentation of nature, timing, and extent of audit procedure enough? Is it enough to just document that? No. So the documentation should be so good that if a third party CA comes who was not part of this audit at all, just by reading your documentation, he should understand the audit fully. Understood? उसे इस कंपनी के बारे में पूरा ऑडिट समझ में आ जाना चाहिए सिर्फ आपका डॉक्यूमेंट्स पढ़ के. So, sirf nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures will be enough? No. So, what extra things should be there? Nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures should be there. The results of audit procedures performed and audit evidence obtained should be there. And any other significant matters that arise during the audit, conclusions reached, and judgments taken. Everything should be documented. So what all will be documented? All the procedures I performed, conclusion of the procedures, evidence obtained, and whatever extra significant matters happened, final conclusions that were reached, and the judgment taken. Thus, all the above matters should be recorded to meet the requirements of SA 230. Documenting nature, timing, and extent of audit procedure alone does not meet the requirement of SA 230. Therefore, CA PICU's views are not valid. Why did you have to give this conclusion line? Because it is asking comment upon validity. Hence, this answer will have a conclusion. अगर आपको question में लिखा है that you have to comment on the validity, then you have to comment on the conclusion. Is that clear? Okay. Finished. Next. We'll go on to the next question. Now, not much is left. Almost all major points of this essay is done. Just two more little different way of asking same questions is there. Okay, just pay attention. CA Ripun completed the audit of a listed company and the audit report was issued on July 17, 2024. However, he had not properly organized the working papers, including the records of discussions with management and audit procedures performed and conclusions reached. More than 6 months after issuing the report, he received a letter from the regulator in connection with the audit of the company, requesting him to share the copy of audit file. In a hurry, CA Ripun quickly assembled the audit file, adding some papers he thought were necessary, but he used the current date on these newly added documents. He then sent the audit file to the regulator, discussed the issues involved related to audit documentation and assembly of audit file in this case. Now you know the answer. You know इसने गलत किया है. 60 days वाला same point. No new points can be added. No new procedures can be added. All the points we have done. You just have to assemble it into similar answer, nothing new. The auditor shall assemble the audit documentation and complete the administrative process of assembly on timely basis. SQC1 again पूरा mention करोगे. Timely completion के लिए not more than 60 days. It does not involve performance of any new procedures or drawing new conclusion. Changes can be made during the final assembly process if they are administrative. Preparing sufficient evidence on timely basis helps to enhance the quality of audit and facilitates effective review and evaluation of audit evidence. Documentation prepared after the audit work has been performed is less accurate than the documentation prepared at the time of such work. So all this is general. This is the conclusion. In the given case, even after passage of more than 6 months, CA Ripun has not assembled an audit file. Besides, he has put in some papers with current date, which is not permissible at all. It shows that the path of audit documentation has been prepared afterwards, putting a question mark on the quality of audit. Understood? So little bit drafting you have to do. ये point आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगा. ये exact line आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगी. So you had to write this conclusion on your own. So you had to use the knowledge and write this conclusion on your own, that by doing this, it is creating a question on whether Ripun is able to follow the standards and is able to maintain quality of audit or not. Okay. So only this full part is already done 2-3 times. But here is where you have to give a conclusion that why what he did was wrong. देखो audit report में कोई खामी नहीं मिली है. Audit की file assembly में देरी हुई है. There has been no fault found in the opinion. But all this is suggesting whether he has maintained quality control or not. Is that clear? And that is why it brings a question mark on the quality of audit. Okay. Next. Last question for this, okay? Then this chapter is over. Messrs. PK and Company are chartered accountants, are statutory auditors of JC Limited. CA Tarun, partner of Messrs. PK and Company, was entrusted to supervise and verify the inventory items as on 31/3/2024. During the process of verification, a large chunk of draft inventory sheets were accumulated, and then a final inventory sheet was prepared. The audit assistant has kept all these drafts and final inventory sheet in audit file. Is the approach of audit assistant correct? Which papers may not be included? Ma'am, if he uses previous audit date only for assembly, Astha is asking, ma'am, previous question में अगर previous date ही use करता तो क्या होता आस्था कि technically तो आप गलत हो. Technically he was wrong because he has assembled after 60 days. But it would be difficult for other person to prove that he has not assembled in 60 days. Because of this, the other person can prove that he has done assembly after 60 days. But if he did not make any mistake in assembly, suppose you completed some audit on 30th June, okay, Astha? And then you forgot to do the file assembly. And suddenly in December, you got a notice to send your audit file. You very thoroughly, even after 6 months, you very thoroughly assembled your file and sent it to them. तो अगर वो previous date का होता तो बस उनको पता नहीं चलता. But still, as per standard, have you done something wrong? ये मत पूछो कि ये proof कैसे होगा. ये current date के होने वजह से it became a proof that he did not do the file assembly on right time. If he would have used the old papers and old dates only, then you could not prove easily that he has done file assembly on the new date. So the only difference both the situation would have caused is it would have been difficult to prove and maybe किसी को पता नहीं चलता. But still, as per standard, is it wrong? Yes. So even if you gave the file in December 2024 and your assembly is perfect, how will we write an answer? You will just ignore this line and you will just mention in the given case, even after passage of more than 6 months, CA Ripun has not assembled an audit file and hence he has not followed the procedures and requirements of SQC1, which can create a question mark on the quality of audit. Do you understand, Astha? He has still not followed SQC1 and hence it is still a wrong point. Okay. Okay. Where was I? Question number 8. Fully clear to you, Asta? No problem, right? Answer is still the same. He is still wrong. He has still violated SQC1. He still should do at 60 days of time. We just have to not mention the line that the date was wrong. Okay. So question number 8 was that the assistant has kept all the draft sheets also and final sheet also. Is the approach of audit assistant correct? No, we have studied this many times. What papers cannot be included? Again, it is same thing, superseded drafts. All the same points will be there. So this you have to mention. Thus, the approach of audit assistant is not correct. As per SA 230, you need not include superseded drafts or working papers, notes that reflect incomplete or preliminary thinking, previous copies of documents corrected for any typographical or other errors, duplicates. All these need not be kept in the record. Finished. So we have completed chapter number 6, that is audit documentation. Any doubt in this chapter? Or can I close this chapter? Any doubt in this chapter, students? Clear. Okay. We'll take a 10 minutes break. We'll take a 10 minutes break here and be back. Okay. Ashok ji, 10 minutes break. Okay. Okay. So we'll be starting with our next chapter, Audit of Banks. Very interesting, fun chapter, I think. Very scoring chapter also. It appears to be a little lengthy, but when you will sit to study it, you'll realize that it's not very theory intense and it's more conceptual intense, and you can easily score marks if you know 6 to 7 concepts very strongly. And we'll be revising those through the medium of our revision class today. Okay. So before we move ahead, quickly tell me that can drawing power be more than the limit given in working capital? Can drawing power be more than the limit given in working capital? Quickly tell me this. One person has replied, can drawing power be more than the limit given in working capital? One person. Okay. No, it cannot be. Okay. First point. How much is the provision for substandard assets? How much is the provisioning for substandard assets? Good. One person again. बाकी सब रिवाइज नहीं किया है ना घर पे? You have not gone through it at all. 15% is for substandard asset. Okay. If the asset, if if the security has lost more than 50% of its valuation, which category do we put it into? If the asset has lost, if the security has lost more than 50% of its valuation, which category do we put it into? Again, correct, Astha, loss asset. Very good. If it's an agricultural loan for crops, for long-term crops, when will it be categorized as NPA? For long-term crops, when will it be categorized as NPA? Overdue for more than one crop season. Very good. And for short-term crops, when will it be categorized as NPA? Quickly tell me. 2 crop seasons. Very good. No one else? Asta is holding the fort of the class today. No one else? Okay. Mujahid has given 2 crop seasons. Okay. One more question I'll ask that. Okay, that question I'll ask. In case of loans that are backed by central government guarantee, in case of loans that are backed by central government guarantee, what is the special thing about it? What is the special thing about it? If the loan is backed by central government guarantee, how does it affect the NPA? Quickly tell me. How does it affect it as an NPA? If I've taken a loan, it is backed by central government guarantee. There will be no provisioning. There will be no provisioning. Yes, only for income recognition purpose, we have to do on accrual basis, but no NPA provisioning. Okay, let's get started with our chapter now, Audit of Banks. As usual, I have told you the basics, and we will go with those same basics while approaching the questions. Advances generally constitute a major part of the assets of the bank. There are large number of borrowers to whom variety of advances are granted. The audit of advances require major attention from auditors. Explain the broad consideration about which the auditor is primarily concerned when obtaining evidence in carrying out audit of advances. First, tell me everyone, audit of advances. Advances is a balance sheet item or a P&L item? First, tell me that. Advances a balance sheet item or a P&L item? Jaldi bataiye. Balance sheet item. Good. Do you remember assertions? How many of you remember assertions? How many of you remember assertions? कोई मुझे बताएगा बैलेंस शीट आइटम्स के लिए assertions कौन कौन से होते हैं? What are the assertions for balance sheet items? एक एक करके write down. To check any balance sheet item, which assertions do we check? To check any balance sheet item, which assertions to check? Very good. Asta has told existence. Valuation, very good. Valuation and allocation. What else? Puja, very good. Completeness. Presentation and disclosure. ये याद है ना? ये बोलते हैं assertions. Yes or no? If you remember, कोई भी चीज का अगर आपको audit बोला जाए, in question, in exam, if you are asked audit for anything, you have forgot one thing, of course, rights and obligations. In question, in exam, whenever you are told to audit something, okay, whether it's rent, whether it's contingent liabilities, whether it's advances, whenever you are told to audit something, you have to remember whether it's a first a P&L item or it's a balance sheet item. If it is a balance sheet item, what all do I check? If it is third category, if I have to check presentation and disclosure of something like contingent liability, which is neither a P&L item nor a balance sheet, it is something that you have to check the presentation and disclosure correctly. So what are the assertions to be checked? In this question, आप पहले ये नहीं याद करोगे कि ऑडिट ऑफ बैंक्स में आंसर में क्या लिखा था मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा. No, you are not going to directly think that what was this answer. You are first thinking, they are telling you have to audit advances. To audit any advances, you need to check these points. Uski existence, valuation, completeness, presentation and disclosure, and you have to check rights and obligation. Now, keep this in mind and think about audit of advances. Now, think about this. It means I have to, let's say there's a bank, RBL bank, and you're seeing the balance sheet, and you are seeing that the advances are the assets. Okay? They are being shown as 300 crores. Okay? 300 crores advances के दिख रहे हैं, आपको इसे audit करना है. ये कब दिख रहे हैं? 31st March 2026. Now, what are the assertions you want about this advance? I want the assertion that amount that is included in the balance sheet is outstanding as on 31st March, not outstanding on 30th March or 20th March. If it is showing 300 crores, it should be outstanding on 31st March. Yes or no? Pehle everyone understood this much? If you are writing 300 crores under the balance sheet of 31st March, the first assertion I need is that this 300 crores are actually outstanding as on 31st March only, not 20th March, not 21st March, not 30th March. They are outstanding as on 31st March. Second thing I'll say, they are of bank only. ये आरबीएल बैंक के बैलेंस शीट में दिख रहा है, तो ये आरबीएल बैंक के ही एडवांसेस है, which means if I pick up any documents, तो उसमें बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा नहीं दिखना चाहिए मुझे, या आईडीएफसी बैंक नहीं दिखना चाहिए मुझे, या एसबीआई नहीं दिखना चाहिए, नहीं. So if it is being shown in your books of accounts, it means they belong to the bank, which means हम क्या चेक कर रहे हैं? Rights. हम उसकी rights चेक कर रहे हैं. ठीक है? फिर whatever this is showing, if it is showing 300 crores, I can check its existence by asking for documents. What is the next assertion? ठीक है. 300 crores is as on 31st March. 300 crores belongs to only RBL. But 300 crores should actually exist. There should be application. There should be a sanction letter. There should be review letter. There should be documentation done. There should be mortgage documents done if it has a security. Yes or no? There should be hypothecation agreement if you have given on hypothecation. So existence of documents should be there if I want to audit advances. Then 300 crore is complete, which means there is no unrecorded advance. What is the next thing should come in my mind? ये 300 crores full है. ये 301 करोड़ नहीं है या 299 करोड़ नहीं है. It is 300 crores only. So there are no unrecorded advances. Then this 300 crores value is correct. So the valuation of the advance is appropriately done. It means all provisions are also correctly done. अगर NPA के provisions लगाने थे तो लगाए हैं. Substandard standard में divide करना था तो किया है. So valuation is correct and provisions are also correct. And lastly, everything is properly presented, classified, and disclosed. So if you remember these assertions that you are checking existence, valuation, completeness, profit and presentation and disclosure, rights and obligation, you can write this answer. Answer is exactly that. An audit of advance is supported by loan documents, which means they are properly existence. There are no unrecorded advances. It means it's complete. The valuation is correct and proper provisioning is done. And lastly, properly disclosed, classified and shown, presented. Can you remember this answer? Yaad rahega? Okay. All right. We'll move on to the third question first. I'll come to the question number 2 later on. Pehle ek baar question 3 karte hain because it's continuing the advances. Okay. Question number 3 pe aaइए everyone. Mahavir and Associates is appointed as a statutory auditor of KBC Bank for the financial year 2023-24. During the audit, Ms. Chandana, an article trainee, noticed that Siddharth Industries have an outstanding loan of rupees 50 lakhs as on March 31st, 2024. On March 29, 2024, the company made a payment. Okay, let's see. Likhte hain ise first. How much outstanding? On 31st, 3, 2024, outstanding is 50 lakhs. Then on March 29, 2024, the company made a payment of 10 lakh rupees, reducing the outstanding balance to 40 lakhs. Okay. 29, 3, 24, 40 lakhs. 10 lakhs paid. Next. However, on April 4th, April 4, 2024, Siddharth Industries initiated a reversal transaction of 8 lakhs, increasing. I think there is some mistake. Just change this to 29th and change this to 31st. Okay, in question. Yep, there's a little bit mistake of the dates. Now it will make sense. So on 29th, 2024, the balance outstanding was 50 lakhs. 31/3/2024 को balance outstanding became 40 lakhs. Then 4/4/2024 को balance again became 48 lakhs. Which means only for the 2 days they did a transaction of that 10 lakh rupees and again a reversal happened and then the outstanding again became 48 lakhs. It means just for the balance sheet date, the outstanding was 40 lakhs. Okay. Do you think it is wrong? Initiated a reversal of transaction of 8 lakhs, increasing the outstanding loan balance back to 48 lakhs. The payment and subsequent reversal occurred within a short period, with the final outstanding balance remaining 48 lakhs after the reversal. Considering the scenario, what should be the response of Mahavir and Associates to this matter, particularly regarding the classification of borrower's account and potential risk of it slipping into NPA account? Firstly, this is on the topic regularization near balance sheet date. So many times this is actually very practical thing that actually happens in real life also, that there might be window dressing. What happens in this? That just on the balance sheet date, they will do some transactions 2 3 days before or 10 days before and bring the balances in order, and then within next 1 week the transactions are reversed, and as an auditor we have to report on that. So if you will see in your book, it is a direct question that is given in the book as accounts regularized near balance sheet date. Asset classification of borrowers, where a solitary or few credits are recorded before the balance sheet date, should be handled with care and without the scope for subjectivity. Where the accounts indicate that inherent weaknesses on the basis of data available, the account can be deemed as an NPA. The auditor should check for sample transactions immediately before the closing of the financial year and immediately after the closing of the financial year to get knowledge of objective behind transactions, if they have any relation to each other in borrower's account, or if any or some transactions are being reversed during the first few days after closing, which might show an arrangement to prevent borrower from slipping into NPA. Now you give the given case. Why we have to give a given case? Because we have to tell what to do in the present case. So conclusion will come. In the given case, a payment of rupees 10,000 10 lakh was made on 29, reducing the outstanding balance to 40 lakh and subsequently reversed by 8 lakhs on April 4. Thus, Mahavir and Associates should carefully assess the classification of Siddharth Industries and determine if payment and reversal transactions indicate an attempt to prevent the account from slipping into NPA. If yes, then the account should be classified as NPA. From the question, आपको पता चल रहा है क्या ये NPA है कि नहीं? From the question, are you able to know whether it's an NPA or not? No. Which means we have to do further analysis. Because from the question, it's not clear whether it's an NPA or not. But we are sensing that there is some arrangement going on. So what points they have written? That we have to determine, we have to assess whether these transactions are to prevent it from slipping into NPA. And if it is proven, then you can classify it as an NPA. Simple. Next. Next question. During the course of statutory branch audit of a nationalized bank, CA Amrish is performing audit procedures in relation to the advances. He has verified the selected sample of borrower accounts representing advances and found nothing unusual. In a banking environment, there exists documentary evidence containing observation comments on advances which can be useful to statutory auditor in performing an effective audit. List out such documentary evidence. For this question, I want to do an open book. अपने सामने, in front of you, open your book, and from your book, keep this question in front of you. Tell me which question or which answer does this question belong to. Go through it once. I'll give you 2 minutes for it. I'll wait for 2 minutes, but I want to see if you are able to connect. I am telling you it's a type 2 question. मैं आपको बता रही हूँ type 2 question है. बताओ. Go through the book and identify which question it belongs to. What answer should come here? I'll give you 2 minutes. One more minute. 1 minute is over. One more minute. Pooja has told one answer. Let's see others. Meanwhile, I'll also open the Saransh. Pooja has given the answer. Anyone else? Yeah. Anyone else? Pooja, you can mention the page number also. Others also, when you find the answer, mention the page number. Last 20 seconds. Okay. Okay, enough time. So, others you were not able to find? Quickly बताओ मुझे, आप ढूंढ नहीं पाए, क्या हुआ? Not able to find Astha? Okay. Mujahid, Sid, Kuldeep. Not able to find? Okay. So, all of you, आपकी मेन बुक का 10.21 ओपन करो और मैं आपको सारांश भी दिखा रही हूँ यहाँ पे. I am showing you सारांश also. So if you will see on 10.21, you will see other reports. Following are the reliance on other reports during the audit. And in that you will see a list. Previous year audit report, latest inspection. And if you will see the question, they are very carefully avoiding the word report. They are saying, in a banking environment, there can exist other documentary evidence containing observations and comments on advances, which can be useful to statutory auditor. List out such documentary evidence. See so carefully. Answer is from the book, but the word report is being avoided. They are saying, ऐसे कुछ ऑडिट डॉक्यूमेंट्री एविडेंस होते हैं जिनमें एडवांसेस पे ऑब्जर्वेशंस या कमेंट्स होते हैं. वो कौन से डॉक्यूमेंट्री एविडेंसेस हैं जो ऑडिटर यूज कर सकता है? एंड इट इज इनडायरेक्टली asking you that these are the different reports that can be used by the auditor. So this is a very brilliant example of type 2 question, where it's a direct question from the book, but you are not able to make connection that which question from the book is it asking. Answer is something that you might have memorized also, but you have to make the connection with the question given in the exam. So it is asking which reports auditor can use during the audit that already might have comments on advances. So previous year audit report, latest internal inspection report, RBI's latest internal inspection report, concurrent internal audit report, report on verification of security, any other general internal report. Annual final inspection report by RBI. And last, manager's charge handing over report. Charge handing over means if there's a change in manager, then the previous manager will give handover a charge handing over report. Jisme every detail must be given so that the new manager can understand how to start working in the bank. So if you'll see this, it's a direct question, but type 2 question. So there exist documentary evidences that can be useful, which are the following: previous year, latest internal inspection, RBI, concurrent reports, verification of security to find the study material. Okay. I'll take at the end for you after I finish the revision questions. So National Bank has advanced cash credit facility of rupees 25 lakhs to Sun Industries. Cash credit diya hai. Following is the extract of account of Sun Industry, 25 lakhs only, 25 lakhs only. The account was classified as standard asset on 31/3/2023. The security charged with the bank remains intact. Comment on the asset classification on above. Okay. For cash credit, does anyone remember how does it become out of order? Cash credit becomes out of order in 3 situations. When the drawing is greater than DP or the limit, or no credits for 90 days, or credits not sufficient to cover interest. There are 3 situations in which it can become out of order. Drawing is more than the drawing power or the limit. Is it more than drawing power or limit? Is it crossing 25 lakhs? Is it crossing 25 lakhs on any day? No. So the first point is out. No credit for 90 days. Is there no credit for 90 days? Yes. That is the problem. Okay. Out of order is only applicable for cash credit and OD facility. Any term loan may you use 90 days overdue, EMI overdue for 90 days. Okay, Astha? So in this situation, has it become out of order? Do you think that Sun Industries has become out of order? Yes, because there is no credit for continuous period of 90 days. So how will you write the answer? First, you will explain out of order. So as per RBI, if it is a cash credit or OD, then out of order means accounting balance continuously excess of sanction limit of drawing power, or in cases where outstanding balance is less than sanction limit, but there are no credits continuously for 90 days, or credits are there, but not enough to cover the interest debited. In the given case, although outstanding balance is less than 25 lakhs, there are no credit continuously for 90 days as on balance sheet. That is why it has become out of order and is required to be classified as NPA. Under NPA, it should be classified as substandard asset and should remain NPA for a period of less than or equal to 12 months. Is that clear to everyone? Is that clear? Any doubt here? Please quickly tell me. Jaldi jaldi bataiye. No doubt. Okay. Next question. Question 6. JKL and Associates Chartered Accountants are the statutory auditors of Messrs IBS Bank Limited of the financial year 24-25. During the audit, they observed the following items included under interest income in financial statements. An amount of rupees 5 lakh related to short-term crop. The installment is overdue for 1 crop season. An amount of rupees 7 lakh related to an advance guaranteed by Government of India, equally by Government of India and Government of Tamil Nadu, where the installment has been overdue for more than 6 months. From the above facts, what should be the correct treatment of above interest income in the bank's financial statements? State the amount that can be recognized as interest income with appropriate reasoning. Also determine the amount to be classified as NPA with reference to applicable RBI norms. So first tell me, amount of rupees 5 lakh as short-term crop overdue for 1 crop season. Is it standard asset or NPA? Is it standard or NPA? Quickly tell me. Not an NPA. So it's a standard asset. So it should be classified. Then income should be recognized regularly. Interest income should be recognized on regular basis. Then an amount of rupees 7 lakh related to advance equally by central government or Tamil Nadu has been overdue for 6 months. Isme interest treatment, if it is government of India, not NPA. If it is state government, you will recognize it as NPA. But interest income for both will be on accrual basis. Again, I'll tell you. If advance guaranteed by central government, no provisioning. If guaranteed by state government, provisioning. And in both cases, income on cash basis. Okay, जब income receive होगी तभी उसको recognize करेंगे. That's it. Look at this. Short-term crop loan. As per RBI, a loan granted for short duration crops is to be classified as NPA only if the installment remains overdue for 2 crop season. Therefore, in the given case, installment is only overdue for 1 crop season. Hence, it is not classified as NPA. The interest income of 5 lakhs will be fully recognized. Okay. Advance guaranteed equally by Government of India. If an advance is guaranteed by central government, it is not to be classified as NPA unless guarantee is invoked. The central government advances where the guarantee is not invoked or repudiated will be classified as standard asset, but regarded as NPA for income recognition. The situation would be different if advance is guaranteed by state government, where advance is considered to be NPA if remains overdue for 90 days for both provisioning and income recognition. In the given case, since the guarantee is shared equally by central government and state government, the installment is overdue for more than 6 months. The portion of loan guaranteed by central government 50%, no NPA, and remaining 50% must be classified as NPA. Done? So 50% will not be NPA, 50% will be recognized as NPA and provisioning will be done. Next. Next question, everyone pay attention. Agreem, a CA student. Agreem, a CA student, is part of an engagement team conducting audit of Madurai branch of ARB Bank. CA Bhuvan engagement partner has asked him to verify provisioning made by branch as on 31st March 2024 in respect of the following NPA. AK Industries is D1, outstanding is 10, provisioning made of 5 lakhs, which means 50% provisioning has been done. Jupiter Traders is a substandard asset, 50 lakhs is the outstanding, and 7.5 is done. How much will it be? Anyone has calculator? I know it should do 15%, but it has done more than 15%. D2, they have done 100%, and loss, they have done 100%. Okay. Engagement partner has already verified NPA collection. Outstanding amounts are also correct. However, only personal guarantee of proprietor, net worth of proprietor 50 lakhs is available for ASD and Sons. Comment on the correctness of the above provisions. Okay. First, ye yaad rakho quickly. NPA provisioning. Always to be remembered. Substandard, 15% of outstanding. Then doubtful will come. Doubtful mein D1, D2, D3. D1 is 25%, D2 is 40%, D3 is 100%. And loss is 100%. Okay. So, this is for secured portion. If it is unsecured, it will directly be 100%. Okay. अब देखते हैं कि इस केस में क्या हुआ है.
How much provisioning is done for D1? 50%. What should be the provision? 25%. So this is wrong. So this is wrong. Then substandard asset 50%, 50 lakhs. How much provisioning is done? 7.5 lakhs. What is substandard? 15%. So this is correct. Doubtful 2, how much it should be? 40%. How much provisioning is done? 100%. So this is wrong. Loss asset should be 100%. So this is correct. Understood? बस ये आपको calculate करके बताना है. So first you have to mention the provisioning. This I have done. From the above, it can be concluded AK Industries, it has been classified as D1. The required provision is 25% only. So provision should be 22.5 lakhs instead of 5 lakhs. Jupiter, it has been classified as substandard. It requires provision of 15%, which comes to 7.5 lakhs. So provision made is correct. Here the provision made is wrong. It has VT and company, it has been classified as D2. Provision should be 40%. So provision should be of 12 lakh, but they have made 30 lakhs. So again, it is wrong. AST, it has been classified as loss asset, which means 100% should be there. So provision is correct. Everyone clear? Any doubt in this? याद रखना है, क्या याद रखना है? Substandard asset 15%, doubtful D1 25, D2 40, D3 100%, loss asset 100%. Okay. VT is secured only. All accounts are fully secured except AST. Except AST, everything is fully secured. It's given in the book. Okay, in the question. Okay, next. Next question, pay attention. Compute the drawing power for cash credit limit granted to S Limited by Trust Bank for month of March 2025. Value of stocks 50,000. Value of datas including datas of rupees 5,000 for an invoice dated 17/11. 45,000. Value of creditors 15,000. Sanction limit 45,000. Margin 20%. Datas 50%. Datas older than 3 months are ineligible. Everyone please calculate this. I will give you 5 minutes. आप सबको खुद calculate करना है. 5 minutes. I am starting. It's 8:05. You have time till 8:10. Everyone calculate the DP. Calculate the drawing power. And tell me the answer. सबके पास 10 मिनट का समय है. You are confused, I understand. First try on your own. मैं तो बताऊंगी ही आपको कि सही कैसे करना है. But पहले खुद try करो. Try on your own. I will tell you how to do it. But first try on your own. Astha has already given her answer. Everyone, I want you to give it a try. Sid, I also want you to try. Pooja, give me your answers. Last 2 minutes. Last 1 minute. Pooja has also given one answer. Okay. All right. So the correct DP, let's see who was correct. Okay, let's see that. So first you can see in the book value of stocks is given. Okay, so value of stocks is there. That is given 50,000. From this we will remove the creditors. Because creditors is what? Unpaid stock. है ना? Stock जिस पे हमने payment नहीं किया है. So creditors will remove 15,000 rupees. Okay. So what is the value of paid stock? 35,000 rupees. Then less margin. How much is the margin given? 20% margin. So that would be 7,000 rupees. So it will be 28,000. So think of this as A. Now debtors. How much is the debtors? 45,000. In which debtors greater than 90 days. How many are there? 5,000 rupees. So it will be 40,000. Then less margin. How much is the margin in debtors? 50% margin. So 20,000 will be removed. And hence 20,000 will be the B. So drawing power will be A plus B equals to 20,000 plus 28,000. And hence 48,000. What is the sanction limit? Sanction limit is 45,000. Can DP be more than sanction limit? Can DP be more than sanction limit? No. So how much can the borrower use actually? He can use 45,000 rupees. So the correct DP calculation is 48,000 rupees. पहले इतना समझ में आया सबको? Everyone is clear? This much is clear to everyone. पहले इतना बताओ. Question जो है वो clear है? Stock minus debtors minus margin. Debtors minus old debtors minus margin. Again, I am repeating. Stock minus creditors minus margin. A, debtors minus debtors greater than 90 days minus margin. B, DP will be A plus B. Understood? इतना clear है? अब I'll take Astha's 2 questions. If this note is not given, the bank can have individual policies. कुछ जगह पे they allow greater than 90 days debtors, they don't allow for DP calculation. For some type of businesses, they may give 180 days. So in your question, it will be given that whether the data more than 180 days are not allowed or data more than 90 days is not allowed. Is that clear, Astha? So this is more than 90 days. If here it would have been given 6 months, then you would have included that data. Abhi itna clear? Okay. If note is not given, then we will always assume 90 days. If the note is not given at all, तो हम क्या assume करेंगे 90 days. Is that clear? Note नहीं दिया है तो 90 days we will assume. Second question Astha asked me that, ma'am, why do we deduct LC? LC अगर दिया है बैंक ने तो उसको भी हम स्टॉक में से क्यों माइनस कर देते हैं? Why do we remove it? So LC is given to you by the bank only. Okay. It means it is nothing but a future payment for the stock that is purchased. Okay. So if LC based purchases, if letter of credit based purchases are included in stock and debtors, then the creditor is the bank only, na? Because bank will pay the supplier through the LC. So the bank becomes your creditor. And then the same bank is also giving you the DP for the stock. So they are funding the same stock 2 times. But they have already funded that stock through LC. It's a little complicated. It's CA final level question you're asking me. But I don't want to ignore your questions. I'm telling you that LC is already something that has been funded by the bank. It's a stock that has been funded by the bank. And DP is also you're calculating for the stock for which you need bank money. So LC, because it is already been funded by the bank, you don't need to add it. So LC is a liability. It is deducted from DP because bank has already financed those purchases through LC. And you then allow the DP to happen, be calculated without including the same stock for which bank has already given LC. Now, do you understand, Astha? Okay. Everyone else, did you understand this basic concept? Stock minus creditors minus margin A. Debtors minus old debtors minus margin B. So DP A plus B. Yes, closing balances. Yes, Astha, correct. Everyone clear? Okay. Now let's come to the next question. You are the auditor of Plus Bank Limited. The bank has made provision for the year ended 31st March 2024. Provision for bad and doubtful debts, substandard asset, expenses, income. You are in the process of verifying the provisions and contingencies of the bank. What audit procedure should you adopt? Again, what are you doing? You are doing audit. Audit आते ही क्या दिमाग में आना चाहिए? आप किसी भी चीज को audit करोगे, if you do audit of anything, what should immediately come to your mind? क्या सिखाया था मैंने first question में? Assertions. What are they telling you to do in this question? You have to verify provisions and contingencies. What are the procedures you will perform? Now, if we'll see the answer, ensure that compliance is, आप क्या verify कर रहे हो? Provisions and contingencies. Ensure compliances from various regulations regarding provisions, yani valuation. Understand how the bank computes the provision for standard assets. It will include checking the basis for classification of loans and receivables, standard, substandard, etc. Verify the loan and classification. Again, this point and this point, both are regarding presentation and disclosure. Then what is given? both this point. Obtain detailed breakup of standard loan non-performing and agree with outstanding balances. Obtain tax provision computation from management and verify the nature of items debited and credited to P&L to ascertain that same are appropriately considered in tax provision. Again, you are doing valuation. Examine the other provision for expenses, that is circumstances, provisioning and adequacy of the same by discussing and obtaining explanation from bank's management. So provision and contingency थोड़ा अलग point क्यों है? Because it comes under not just balance sheet item but presentation and disclosure. So इन चार चीजों में क्या कॉमन बात है? दो कॉमन बात है. पहला, इसकी कैलकुलेशन सही है कि नहीं. ओके, इसकी कैलकुलेशन, हाउ इट हैज बीन कैलकुलेटेड, हाउ इट हैज बीन क्लासिफाइड एंड हाउ इट इज प्रेजेंटेड. सो इसी पॉइंट्स को यहां पे रिपीट किया गया है. कंप्लायंसेस के प्रोविजनिंग, देन यहाँ पे एनपीए का प्रोविजनिंग, देन यहाँ पे टैक्स का प्रोविजनिंग एंड यहाँ पे अदर प्रोविजनिंग. Other provisioning, tax provisioning, NPA provisioning, and compliance related provisioning. Compliances can be your bad debts, expenses, anything. So general provisioning, NPA provisioning, tax provisioning, other provisioning. And lastly, just you have to see whether they are properly, details are available or not. So very easy answer. Remember 4 provisionings: general provisioning, NPA provisioning, tax provisioning, other provisioning. And then detailed breakup is available or not. Okay. Clear? We are just left with one answer. Answer number 2. Little theoretical answer. That's why I left for the end. During the audit of Smile Bank, CA Sweetie focused on understanding the risk management process of the entity. She reviewed how management developed controls and used performance indicators to monitor key businesses and financial risks. CSVT also assessed whether the risk management system effectively identified and mitigated risk in required area. How should CSVT evaluate the adequacy of banks' risk management controls? This is actually type 1 question. It's directly from the book that as an auditor, how to check risk management process of the bank. देखो, bank is a very, very large entity with a very voluminous transactions. Okay, the volume of transaction is very high. The internal control is complicated. It is very expensive and lot of parts of it is automated. So as an auditor, I have to see that whether bank is proactive in identifying the risk so that they can create internal control system. हम किस चीज का इंटरनल कंट्रोल सिस्टम बना सकते हैं? जिस चीज के रिस्क को हम एंटिसिपेट कर सकते हैं. तो अगर मेरा रिस्क को आइडेंटिफाई करने का प्रोसेस बहुत सॉलिड है, तो अपने आप मेरा इंटरनल कंट्रोल सिस्टम बहुत स्ट्रांग होगा. If my risk management process is very, very strong, then automatically my internal control system will be very reliable. So if we understand the risk management system of a bank, we can automatically know how much the internal control system is reliable of the bank. So if as an auditor you go for audit and you want to understand bank's risk management controls, these are the points you will understand. How to understand risk management process of the management. First, are the people on the top involved? Are the people from TCWG involved? या आपने पूरा management पे ही छोड़ रखा है? देखो, which are the people who are more likely to be involved in fraud management? Because they are involved on day-to-day basis. TCWG is not involved on day-to-day basis. So if people who are doing all the execution every day, they are only deciding the risk management, then there is a risk. So the first step to a good risk management is, are the people from TCWG involved? Second, how do you identify the risk, measure the risk, and monitor the risk? Identify का मतलब, let's say that I am taking I'm working in a bank, okay? There is a risk that when I leave my computer to go use washroom for 5 minutes, someone might come and use my computer and use, because my system is already working, they might do some transactions. Is that a risk? Yes. So identify who are risk. Tell me, is that a big risk or a small risk? Is that a very high risk or very low risk? Measure करो उस risk को. बड़ा risk है कि छोटा risk है? कि मैं जब बाथरूम यूज करने जा रही हूँ या लंच पे जा रही हूँ तो कोई आकर मेरे सिस्टम को यूज करके उसमें ट्रांजैक्शंस कर लेगा. इज दैट अ बिग रिस्क और अ स्मॉल रिस्क? रिस्क तो है, पर कितना बड़ा रिस्क है? बड़ा रिस्क है कि छोटा रिस्क है? दैट इज कॉल्ड एज मेजरमेंट. एंड मॉनिटरिंग मीन्स मॉनिटर करो कि इसके होने के कितने चांसेस हैं. हाउ मच चांस इज देयर फॉर दिस रिस्क to happen, that someone, when I have gone to use bathroom, someone will come and use it? Chances are high if my office is not in a cabin. If it's an open office, then the monitoring is to be more proficient. Do you know what internal control is there in banks for this? आपको पता है इंटरनल कंट्रोल क्या है बैंक में? बहुत ही छोटा सा इंटरनल कंट्रोल है बट इफेक्टिव है. मोस्ट बैंक्स में 30 सेकेंड्स में अगर एक्टिविटी नहीं होती है तो अपने आप साइन आउट हो जाता है, स्लीप पे चली जाती है विंडो. सो अगर 30 सेकेंड्स एक्टिविटी नहीं होती है कंटिन्यूअस, 30 सेकेंड्स 45 सेकेंड्स, हर बैंक में थोड़ा थोड़ा डिफरेंट हो सकता है, बट अगर एक्टिविटी नहीं होती है तो स्क्रीन गोज अवे. सो ये कंट्रोल कैसे बना? किसने सोचा कि 30 सेकेंड्स में स्क्रीन स्लीप हो जानी चाहिए? क्योंकि किसी ने पहले रिस्क को आइडेंटिफाई किया, किसी ने मेजर किया कि भाई कई बार हो सकता है कि कोई कॉल आ गया, उठ के किसी ने बुला लिया, वो बाथरूम चले गए, तो स्क्रीन अनअटेंडेड रह जाएगी. तो किसी ने रिस्क को आइडेंटिफाई किया, उसको मेजर किया, उसको मॉनिटर किया, और फिर इंटरनल कंट्रोल बनाया कि सब बैंक में ये सिस्टम होना चाहिए कि सिस्टम में अगर 30 सेकेंड्स एक्टिविटी नहीं हो तो सिस्टम स्विच ऑफ हो जाएगा, सब लॉग आउट हो जाएगा. ओके. So the second step to good risk management is good identification, measurement and monitoring of controls. Then to create controls. So जो ये risk identify हुआ तो control activity क्या लगाई गई? मैंने आपको क्या बताया, क्या कंट्रोल एक्टिविटी लगाई गई? रिस्क आइडेंटिफाई हुआ कि सिस्टम अनअटेंडेड हो सकता है, तो क्या कंट्रोल एक्टिविटी लगाई गई सिस्टम पे? 30 seconds log out. So the third step for risk assessment is what is the control activity being put? Then how are you monitoring? क्या सही में 30 सेकेंड में लॉग आउट हो रहा है? क्या हम उसको चेक कर रहे हैं कि वो 30 सेकेंड में लॉग आउट हो रहा है कि नहीं? एंड लास्ट, रिलायबल इंफॉर्मेशन सिस्टम. अगर कोई और मेरा कंप्यूटर यूज कर रहा है तो क्या मेरी कंप्यूटर ये रिपोर्ट जनरेट कर पा रही है कि कब किसने क्या कैसे मेरा कंप्यूटर यूज किया? क्या रिपोर्ट्स जनरेट हो पा रही है जिससे मुझे इंफॉर्मेशन मिल सके? सो रिस्क मैनेजमेंट प्रोसेस में 5 स्टेप होते हैं. ओवरसाइट एंड इन्वॉल्वमेंट ऑफ TCWG, identification, measurement and monitoring of risk, control activities, monitoring activities and reliable information system. Here we are done with both the chapters today, audit documentation and audit of banks. I hope you understood. Ma'am, explain reversal of income, point C, point D. In book, are you talking about book? Give me 1 second. Can you tell me page number, Astha? Okay, 10.4. This one? Yeah. So what is the topic? Renegotiation, reversal of income. Okay. It says, in case of banks which have wrongly recognized income in the past, should reverse the interest if it was recognized as income during the current year, or make a provision for an equivalent amount if it was recognized as income in previous year. It says कि अगर कोई मैंने income, suppose interest आने वाला था, मैंने उसको income recognize कर दिया, but मुझे वो income recognize नहीं करना चाहिए था. सपोज कोई अकाउंट एनपीए हो गया है, तो क्या मुझे उसकी इनकम रिकॉग्नाइज करनी चाहिए थी आस्था? नहीं करनी चाहिए थी, बट मैंने रिकॉग्नाइज कर ली, तो क्या अब मुझे उसे रिवर्स करना पड़ेगा? हाँ. तो अगर आपने करंट ईयर में ही रिकॉग्नाइज करनी थी और करंट ईयर में आपने एक गलत इनकम रिकॉग्नाइज कर लिया, तो उसको रिवर्स कर दो, खाली रिवर्स एंट्री मार दो. बट अगर पुराने साल में आपने कर दिया था और इस साल नोटिस में आया कि रिवर्स करनी चाहिए, तो उसका प्रोविजन बना दो. दैट्स इट. Furthermore, the auditor should inquire if there are any large debits in the interest income account that have not been explained. It should be inquired whether there are any communications from borrower pointing out differences in interest change. अब ये point बहुत interesting है. Interest income तो credit account है ना आस्था? Income आनी चाहिए ना? Income आनी चाहिए हमारे पास? Yes? Okay. Let's say कि कुछ old customers ने complaint की है कि मेरा, आपको पता है इंटरेस्ट चेंज होता रहता है बैंक में, रेपो रेट चेंज होता है, सिबिल स्कोर चेंज होता है, तो लोगों के इंटरेस्ट रेट चेंज होते रहते हैं, ये पता है ना? ओके. सपोज किसी कस्टमर ने मेरे पास में कंप्लेंट की है कि आपने 3 साल पहले मुझे 9% इंटरेस्ट चार्ज किया था, आपने जो रेपो रेट है आपके सिस्टम ने उसको सही से लिया नहीं, मेरा इंटरेस्ट 8.15 होना चाहिए था. अब ऐसा 1000 और कस्टमर ने कंप्लेंट की है, इसका मतलब इंटरनल कंट्रोल सिस्टम में कुछ मिसहैप हुआ है, राइट? कि हमारा जो सीबीएस था वो 9% को 8.15 करने से रह गया, तो इसके वजह से 1000 एजुकेशन लोन में ये प्रॉब्लम आई, तो 1000 एजुकेशन लोन्स में गलत इंटरेस्ट चला गया है. तब हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? इंटरेस्ट इनकम से उसको रिड्यूस करना पड़ेगा, यस और नो, और रीपे करना पड़ेगा लोगों को. ऐसे एक्सेप्शनल सर्कमस्टांसेस में क्या होते हैं? डेबिट्स होते हैं. क्या यूजुअली इंटरेस्ट अकाउंट में डेबिट्स मिलने चाहिए? यूजुअली इन इंटरेस्ट इनकम अकाउंट शुड देयर बी डेबिट्स? नो. So if there have been large debits in interest income account that are not explained, then you have to discuss why these debits have happened, whether you received any communications from borrowers where they were pointing out some problem in the interest, and then the action has been taken or not. Is it clear now, Astha? Okay. Creditors are unpaid stock. बैंक आपको कैश क्रेडिट की फैसिलिटी क्यों देती है? कि भैया आपने स्टॉक खरीदा है, पर उसको फिनिश्ड गुड्स बनने में और उसकी सेल की अमाउंट आने में अभी समय है, पर जब आपने स्टॉक के लिए पे ही नहीं किया है, तो बैंक उसके लिए आपको फंडिंग क्यों करेगी? और क्रेडिटर क्या होता है? क्रेडिटर होता है अनपेड स्टॉक. तो बैंक आपको किस चीज के लिए फंडिंग करती है? बैंक आपको किस चीज के लिए फैसिलिटी देती है? पेड स्टॉक के लिए. क्लियर है पूजा? इसलिए क्रेडिटर रिड्यूस किया जाता है. Next question is from Astha, 10.20 page number. हाँ. Assess specific risks. Auditor shall identify and assess the risk of material misstatement at financial statement level, which refers to assess that relate pervasively to financial statement as a whole. नहीं, वही मतलब है आस्था. Assess specific risk का मतलब ये है. Astha, let me tell you. Suppose I have gone to Cholamandalam Bank. Let's say it's not a bank, but just to give you example. So suppose I have gone to Cholamandalam. Let's imagine it's a bank. Cholamandalam basically सबसे ज्यादा क्या फाइनेंस करता है आस्था? सबसे ज्यादा क्या फाइनेंसिंग होती है चोलामंडलम में? बताओ जल्दी से. गोल्ड लोन्स. ओके, गोल्ड लोन्स. आई विल टेल यू. गोल्ड लोन्स यानी कि चोलामंडलम में कौन से रिस्क से पूरा बैंक इफेक्ट हो सकता है? गोल्ड लोन रिलेटेड रिस्क कि लोगों ने गोल्ड देकर लोन ले लिया और गोल्ड फेक है कि नहीं? वो चोलामंडलम का स्पेसिफिक रिस्क है कि नहीं है? It is a risk specific to banks that are giving more gold loans. So what is it saying? That when you go to become auditor of a bank, you have to assess specific risk for that bank, the risk that can pervasively affect material misstatement of the financial statement as a whole and can affect many assertions. Now, do you understand? Is it clear now, Astha? Okay. Anyone else? Any other question? So I hope you understood the lecture today and you were able to revise with me. Okay. All right. So we'll end the lecture now. Ashok ji, we can end the lecture. Hanji. Thank you. Thank you. Good night, everyone.